Wolf Bride. Chapter 2, The Bonding. Bastine stands before you dressed in leather and body paint. A strange group of cultists still chanting softly behind him. What the... Bastine, did you have something to do with those bastards kidnapping me? He ignores you, raising his hands like some sort of revival preacher. We gather today to praise the life-giving earth. She has brought us Celine, returned to us as a daughter of the pack. Blood of the pack? What's going on here? The crowd's chanting shifts, sounding even less like a language and more like a wild, wordless howl. Yet somehow there is a bone-deep familiarity to it, like a music faintly remembered from childhood, from before childhood, from deep in your very blood. And some part of you knows these are your people, who both Bastine and Zane were so cagey about. These people, this music, this place, is what your mother ran away from, and what you came back here to find. Today we accept Celine as our own, acknowledge forever the bond between us. Bastine, what's happening? You look uneasy at the gathering crowd. Hippies? Cultists? Who exactly are they, and what is their connection to your family? It is the bonding. He says that if you should have any idea what he's talking about. Blood to blood, flesh to flesh, soul to soul. Bound together to mate, to hunt, to feed, to bring the pack new life. He reaches out and clasps your hand in his. It's electric. The moment your skin touches his, the woods come alive around you. You can hear the rustle of wind like a language, through the movement of every leaf and insect. You can feel each pulse of blood through his fingertips like they're your own, and for a moment you even see your own shocked face looking out at you. Bastine? I am here. I will always be here. Shocking wave of heat rushes through you, slicking your skin with sweat, attuning you to his every movement. How can the simple clasp of his hands be enough to make you forget where you even are? Welcome, Celine. Okay, chapter 15 total. True Wolf, you acquired the Mystic Bond. Throughout Wolf Bride, you'll have opportunities to develop new supernatural abilities, like your Mystic Bond with Bastine. Gain superpowers, unlock exclusive scenes as you develop your abilities. Collect them all to unlock a special ending. Oh boy. For a moment, you are overcome by the connection between you, and that you forgot to be afraid or angry or even curious. You step forward, and suddenly the bond fractures. You feel it in your bones, like you're stretched on a rack, torn apart from your other half. Bastine. Then you feel someone else, another woman, coming between you, the tight grip of your connection expanding to include her. You feel his deep revulsion at the violation of your bond. Ooh. But now you feel this other woman too, the same tender, passionate union you shared with Bastine a moment ago. Whatever is happening, how can it be happening twice? Who's there? What's going on? You have a brief momentary impression of Morgan before Bastine releases your hands and the vision vanishes. Something's gone wrong. The ceremony has been violated. Stop the ritual! Well, that was easy. Your legs tremble, vision clouding as you are released from the ritual's powerful hold. The last thing you see before you black out is his worried face. Sometime later, your eyes flutter open. Where are you? You can see soft furs, the flicker of firelight, and a large dog lying at the foot of your bed. You blink and realize there's no dog, that's just Bastine silently watching you. The bond stretches between you, a soft band just below your conscious awareness. You blink quietly, your vision resolving to show you something like a cave, but with a bed and a fireplace and candles on the wall. This is my fault, Celine. I was too eager. I should have let you come to us in your own time. He reaches a gentle hand down to soothe your hair back, and you close your eyes again. A moment too late. You're awake. He puts a supportive arm around your back, helping you sit up. You shiver at the touch of his skin on yours, heightened now by the bond between you. You have my apologies, Celine. I cannot say that quickly or intently enough. It should have never have happened this way. Damn straight it shouldn't have. Especially kidnapping me. You have every right to be angry. But, I don't blame you if you choose to run, but I beg you to give me a chance to explain. Explain? What happened to a first date? You try to keep your voice light, and keep him giving the benefit of the doubt, but you know Bastien can still hear the strain. I didn't realize you would not expect the bonding tonight. You thought I'd expect this? If you had been raised here, if your mother had stayed, you would know exactly what tonight would entail. So you're really saying the whole town is part of this cult or whatever this is? When I met you, I felt the bond so strongly between us. I know you felt it too. You look at him wanting to protest, but even through your confusion and fear, you can still feel the sense of comfort or righteousness. I knew you didn't know our ways, but I didn't think about what that meant. I just knew your blood called to mine, your soul recognized mine. I knew, and I think part of you knew too, that we are destined to be together. Really? That's your supposed excuse for you sending goons after me? A scowl crosses his face, and he touches your hand apologetically, sending a spark through you that you try to ignore. Look, I won't deny there's something going on between us. Even at the tiny acknowledgement, you feel a surge of emotion across the connection between you, the bond that you're starting to admit, if only to yourself, must be real. But you're crazy if you think that means I'm just gonna go along with being kidnapped, or any of this weirdness. Jet should have not treated you how he did. He assumed you were deliberately being difficult. He never thought you might not understand what was happening. I am deeply sorry for how Jet handled this. We had all assumed Zane prepared you for the ceremony. Why am I not surprised Zane was in on this? Bastien pours a cup of water through a rough ceramic pitcher, and you drink thirstily. Had you grown up here, you would have spent years preparing for this day. You would have known everything that was to happen. That morning, you would have immersed yourself in the springs to cleanse your spirit and open yourself to the earth. Your mother would have painted you with the sacred symbols and dressed you in all white. It would have been a joyful memory for you, not a fearful one. I still don't understand. Why are you talking about some kind of arranged marriage? Not marriage, just a recognition of the bond we already have, an acknowledgement that we are meant to be together. Stands and walks over to the fireplace. You feel the distance stretching between you like a chasm. I have a suggestion. Make us do the preparations now. How? I mean, can we do that? It already happened, right? I cannot make it what it should have been. But I can show you what would have happened if it was done correctly. You mean without the blood-curdling terror and confusion? Let me give you a piece of your heritage, show you what you would have learned if your mother hadn't taken you away. Diamond choice. Do the ritual preparations with Bastien. Well, I did come here to learn about my family. Thank you, Celine. I know it cannot make up for what happened at the ceremony, but I would like to show you what should have been. So, just so you know, I'm not committing to anything. This isn't me promising anything, okay? I just want to see what it's all about. I'm not saying I'll marry you. Not answering, he disappears for a moment through a doorway in a cave wall. Returns with several small ceramic pots. He sits beside you. Hold out your arms. He dips a finger into one of the pots, coming up with a dripping and orange-red clay slurry. Gently, he draws a line around the top of your arm, then traces a ticklish path over the crease of your elbow to the pulse in your wrist. This is ochre, from the heart of the earth. The circle symbolizes your connection to all things that live upon or within. The line is your life, your blood, that beats within you. His fingers are gentle but erotic as he pulls the neckline of your shirt down, just slightly to reveal your collarbone. The paint feels like cool fire as he anoints the hollow of your throat, drawing faint red dots down your sternum to just above your breasts. These are to draw the passions from your heart, to release all anger, all hatred, all doubt. You shiver as the ochre dries on your skin, a physical memory of his touch. Bastien, have you done this before? Not for my own bonding, but I have seen it done. As he finishes, he offers you the pod. You can mark me as well. The same lines. Keeping your finger into the ochre, you trace the lines along his skin. His muscles are firm under your hand, though you can feel him restrain a shiver at your gentle touch. His pulse surges, heart pounding in his chest as your fingers trace down the laced neckline of his shirt. Your own hearts beat in time with his. A flush of heat warming your cheeks. Now we go to the sacred pits, or springs, to call on the spirits of the earth. The sacred springs Bastien is talking about turn out to be another cave. This one a good 15-minute hike from where you started. Bastien brings a bulky satchel, and when you get there, you're surprised to see him pull out a small skin-covered drum, something like a bongo. You want me to play that? It is how we summon the Earth's attention. I will show you what to play. Pulling you down to sit cross-legged in front of him, Bastien gently taps out a rhythm on his legs. Now you. He puts his hands over yours, helping you find the rhythm. The drumming is slightly dissonant, following the beat of your heart, and then jolting it. As you continue, you find your breath slowing, deepening, a strange peace settles over you. Now, you immerse in the spring. Let the waters wash away the marks we made, to be reborn, unblemished. Look at him, then at the beautiful underground pool. Why don't you, come in with me? Normally, we would not see each other like this before the ceremony. Hey, we're not doing everything out of order. True. He strips his clothing away, revealing a torso that is heavily muscled, unmarred by a blemish, mole, or scar. You peel your own clothes off, and he looks at you unashamedly, taken in your every curve with an appreciation of an artist for the finest sculpture. Beautiful. I don't usually do this with someone I've just met, but our souls have known each other since the day we each were born. He offers a hand and leads you into the pools. The water is warm, body temperature, feeling like an extension of yourself as you slide into it. Bastien keeps a steadying hand against your back, slipping in beside you. What now? Normally we would not be here together. You would let the waters carry away the ochre until we were clean. With the lightest whisper of a touch, he smooths the water over your arm, washing away the markings. Tentatively, you do the same, running your fingertips over the bulge of his bicep across the firm planes of his chest. You realize how close his lips are to yours, and pull back slightly, fighting the urge to kiss. An urge that you suddenly realize is his, broadcast through the bond you share. You pull back, wanting to keep your boundaries. We're clean now, I think. After this, normally, we would begin the ceremony, but since that already happened, I guess we better just, get home? You will stay with us now. There are others for you to meet in the morning. Not looking forward to finding your way back to Uncle Zane's or confronting him about what happened, you silently agree. When you wake up the next morning, it takes a minute to remember where you are. A room In a cave, somewhere in the woods outside of Hunts Peak. You stand up, running a hand through your hair, but as you reach the entrance, you notice something chilling on the floor. A single massive paw print. Was there a dog in here, after all? You lay your hand against it. The paw is no longer than your hand, and twice as wide. What animal could possibly have made this? Not knowing where else to get answers, you stumble past into the main part of the cave. Your little room seems to be part of a vast network of caves arranged around the central living area. We have a vent in the floor. Yay. Hey, does anyone know if there's a big dog in... Selena, you're up. We were so worried about you after last night. Layla? Thanks, Layla, for, telling me what the hell was going on. She swapped her tight skirt for belly-bearing ragged linens more in line with what the rest of them are wearing. What are you doing here? Were you in on all this? Layla holds her hands out. Hey, I was just as surprised as you when Jet and Isabel came into the bar after you. Really? Well, maybe not a surprise, but I swear, when you walked in, I had no idea they would be coming that night. And I assume Zane would have told you to expect the bonding. Then... what is this whole bonding thing about? Think of it as like soulmates, but for werewolves. Judging by that little smile on your face, Bastien's already showed you what bonding is about. Hey! No judgment, honey. We've all had that glow. I swear, we didn't. So, that's just an anticipatory glow? Boy, you got it bad, girl. Layla gives you an apologetic look. I am really sorry about last night. I mean, I saw you were putting up the big fight, and I couldn't figure out why. I assume Zane told you what would be happening. I didn't think you were really that scared. Oh, thanks for the concern. If I knew, I would have explained. Well, tried to explain. I guess that wouldn't have been so easy. That's when you notice a man standing quietly behind her and coming closer to sling an arm casually around her waist. You recognize him from the circle yesterday. I told you my man lived out of town. This is Callum. Welcome, Celine. I'm sorry no one knew you weren't expecting the ceremony. If Bastien had been there, he'd have known what to say. Why wasn't he there? You're not supposed to come together into a bonding ceremony. It's bad luck. So kind of like marriage. Like seeing the bride before the wedding. Layla looks you over, and you can't help the feeling out of place in your machine-stitched, off-the-rack clothes. Yeah, because that's what we should do, is fill out of place. I can't believe no one even offered you the right clothes for the ceremony. I know Bastien had them put aside specially for you. She disappears in the back of the room of the cave and emerges with a beautiful hand-dyed shirt. Linen harem pants, all trimmed with the softest fur you've ever felt. Try them on. You're going to be spending a lot of time here with Bastien. This will help you look like one of us. One of us. One of us. Tear it up. Okay. Layla helps you carefully apply a few stripes of chalky body paint, like so many of the others are wearing. Are you sure I need the paint? You wanna see Bastien drool? This is definitely the way to go. And it'll help show the others that you really belong here, as you wear no body paint. You can tell by the sudden catch in her throat that Bastien has walked in. He stops dead when he sees you, lips parted, slightly parted. His eyes run over your new clothes, as intimate as a caress. Celine, you look wonderful, just the way I pictured. He takes your hands, and you can't help but feel his joy as he pulls you towards the light at the cave entrance. Come, there are people waiting to meet you. The sun is bright at the clearing outside, and there are a surprising amount of people lounging on the stone benches or standing in small groups. So Layla and Callum, you've met. Jet too, though I apologize again for the circumstances. You look where he's indicating and recognize the man who bullied you out of the bar last night. He looks super grumpy, and I can't wait to beat his ass. I mean, what? Oh, goody. Glad he's here. Next, he points out the woman who helped Jet abduct you. And, of course, Isabel. She's the toughest woman you'll ever meet, and I hope you two will be able to be friends. Oh, I don't think so. That might be a big ask. Last, he nods respectfully to an old woman who must be 80, if she's a day. She's watching you both with sharp, discerning eyes. And Naomi, our most revered elder. Yes, we've met. A thinner version with more wrinkles than that one story we did. I'll treat her with respect. Take your time to get to know them. They're all quite eager to meet you. Let's go with Jet first. Oh, won't this be fun? Gingerly, you walk over to Jet, whose scowl never leaves his face. So, you're Jet. You offer him your hand, and he shakes it limply, though you see a smile threaten as he looks at your new clothes. It's good to see you looking right. Then he seems to catch himself and snatches his hand away. I told Bastien nothing good would come of taking in outsiders. Hey. You kidnapped me. If either of us has the right to be pissy here, it's me. You were offered an honor you should have been willing to sacrifice anything for. Instead, you acted like you were being taken off to prison. Or worse. What honor with Bastien? Why is that such an honor? He should have known better. The minute he learned that you weren't raised in Hunts Peak, he should have let you go. You'll never fit in here. And with a last stormy look, Jet stalks away. Within moments, you can no longer make him out among the trees. What a shame. I enjoy trees better than people anyway. You walk over to Isabel, who looks past you to watch Bastien with a possessive smile. Well, that was more exciting. Bonding ceremony than we were led to expect. What do you mean? Passing out instead of finishing the ritual. That was certainly a statement. A statement? What do you think I'm saying? She gives you a slow once-over with her piercing dark eyes, taking in your new outfit appreciatively. At least you found something proper to wear. Her eyes flicker back to Bastien. Hey, eyes on me. What do you think you're gonna see over there? Bastien will be done with you soon enough. Someone like you could never hold someone like him. I already have a bond with him. The minute I met him, I could feel it. He says we're destined to be together. He may need you now, but you'll never be enough for him. Why did you even bring me here if you want me to be gone so badly? I'd still be in town if it wasn't for you. I do as I'm ordered. Ordered? I told him he'd regret it. I told him you could never be what he needs. What's the deal? Is Bastien your ex or something? We don't use such terms. I guess I hit the mark. You mad because you want him back? Want him for yourself? Bastien may amuse himself with you for a time, but don't think you can ever really know him. Not like I do. She walks away back into the caves, just as Bastien glances over, looking surprised to find her gone. Yeah, let's go to her next. Walk with Bastien over to the old lady, and are surprised when she drops briefly to one knee before her. Welcome, my dear. She smiles, seeing your new clothing.
I am pleased to see you embrace your role.
Celine, this is Naomi, our esteemed elder and speaker. Speaker?
I speak with spirits and keep the ceremonies on behalf of our people.
So you, like, do magic?
Many things feel like magic if you do not understand how they come to be.
Right. So, shouldn't you have been running the ceremony thingy, then?
It was not my bond made yesterday. You do not need anyone to come between you and your other half of your heart.
She looks at you closely in a way that makes you feel like she's seeing straight through you.
So tell me, what happened?
Celine was not properly prepared. The power of the ritual took her by surprise and she passed out. Naomi gives Bastien a fond look, like a grandmother to an unruly grandson. Her voice is reassuring.
I can see that the bond between you was completed, Bastien. But I'm curious what she felt, what happened to disrupt the ritual.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what it was supposed to feel like. It was fine. Celine was just overwhelmed by the ceremony.
Of course.
Whatever went wrong during the ceremony, it's done now. It will not change anything. Layla and Callum are waiting at the gate entrance as your stomach gives a loud rumble. Come on inside. I'll find you something familiar to eat. Do you make burritos out here in the woods? By the time you come outside again for some time to yourself, the day is almost over and you're exhausted. So many new faces, names to learn, so many strange customs and hints and half-truths you can sense going on around you. Celine, thank goodness you're safe. The moment you lay eyes on Morgan hurrying through the trees, you can feel that prickle of energy deep inside you, the same magnetic connection as with Bastien. But why? How did you know I was here? As soon as I heard what happened at Buck's, I knew who took you. I've been combing the woods searching. Morgan, I don't need rescuing. We already had this talk, remember? I'm strong enough to handle myself. You shrug uncomfortably, well aware that it may not be true, but unable to push back against the feelings that you finally come home. What happened last night was a mistake. I'm not in any danger, I think. You have no idea what Bastien's capable of. Morgan reaches for your hand, and you feel a tingling glow as she gets closer. Come on, let's get back to town. You hesitate, glancing back towards the cave complex where Bastien and the others are waiting. Morgan notices your hesitation and stops. They already got to you. They already convinced you to stay. I don't have any reason to distrust them. Really? You can't really argue with the incredulity of her face, but you can still feel somewhere at the core of you that you belong here. I know I can't force you to leave, but you're in danger, and I don't want you to find out the hard way. She cocks her head towards the trees as if listening for anyone approaching. This is their territory. Anything I say here, we have to assume they'll hear. Territory? Like they own this land, or... Please, you don't know what danger you're in. Let's find somewhere safe, and I'll tell you what I know about Bastien and his people. Diamond choice. Go with Morgan. Also, I keep trying to give her a voice. Kind of settling on a little southern-ish, kind of. I don't know. Alright, let's find somewhere more private where we can talk. Here. This is the way I came in. There weren't any sentries posted. She leads you through a narrow trail between the trees that isn't cleared enough to be called a path. Sentries? You really think they Shh, listen. I hear someone now. She jerks her chin towards the shadows where you could just make out Callum lounging against a tree and looking far too deliberately casual. But he's not holding a gun or anything else you would associate with the kind of paramilitary cult Morgan seems to be worried about. We'll need to sneak past. He'll never let you out of here. I think we should try to avoid him. You know these woods better than I do. I'll follow you. Morgan nods, lifting her head for a moment as if to scent the wind. Is he armed? I don't see anything, do you? She shakes her head and then crouches, weaving carefully between the trees, staying out of his sight, and you follow. As you move out of earshot of Callum, Morgan relaxes slightly. I didn't think we'd get out of there without a fight. Really, a fight? Has that happened before? It wouldn't be the first time. I try to avoid it if possible. I mean, they're definitely weird, but they seem more tree-hugging commune than paramilitary bunker. Well, you were there the whole night. You'd probably seen more than I have. Who do you think they are? They're... something weird. They seemed almost supernatural. I mean, I know they're bizarre, but they seem almost alien, like they're trying to imitate humans but don't understand quite how they work. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they're werewolves. Morgan puts a steadying hand on your elbow to guide you out of the trees and onto a cleared path. They're eco-terrorists. They pretend they've got this whole heroic thing protecting the Earth, but all they do is hurt local people and businesses. Eco-terrorists? What did they do? They burned down people's farms, destroyed equipment, injured workers for life. How do you know it's them? It's them. They say I don't care about the forest because I want humans and nature to coexist. For them, it doesn't hurt people. If it doesn't hurt them, it's not enough of a victory. I think we need to protect the environment. I mean, there are too many people in the world already. If Bastien and his people want to stand up for the trees and the animals and but don't have a voice, otherwise I'm all for it. They do it in a way that doesn't actively hurt people. My work is all about balancing the needs of the population with the impact of wildlife. We can't ignore either one. Yeah, but we can't ignore nature either. So you're a scientist? An ecological researcher. I'm in the middle of running a 10-year environmental impact assessment on local predator populations. My research station is on the other side of the stream. That sounds really interesting. What are you studying? Well, it gets pretty technical, but mostly I'm measuring the levels of predation in the areas around Hunt's Peak compared to less populated areas. What kind of predators? Bears, wolves, foxes. And at the word, you were hit with a memory of your dream, the yellow-eyed, dark-furred, and chasing you through the woods. Tell me more about, what you've learned. For a moment, she doesn't speak. When she does, her voice is slightly strained, as if suddenly wary. We use cameras and radio collars to study what happens among local predators when humans aren't around. And then what does it show? That there's a whole world right under our noses that we should never see, or we never do. So tell me more about you. Not your work. Well, what do you do for fun? Really? Smile at Morgan, but she doesn't return it, seemingly self-conscious as she digs in a foot in the soft dirt of the stream bed. I've never been much of good at fun. Oh, come on. What makes you happy? I'm pretty happy you came with me today. She is breathing rapidly, and you can't tell if it's from the flirting or the exertion. That was flirting. By this time, the sun is setting, turning the stream into a sparkling red jewel. I should just keep walking, because we know nothing about her either. You glance sideways at Morgan, wondering if she's going to touch you, but she doesn't return the glance. You keep walking, pausing to skip a stone along the stream. There's something about you, Celine. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I know you. As the sun sinks behind the trees, you feel the pull of a strange bond between you and hesitate, trying to figure out how to bring it up. Do you know anything about a ritual Bastien and his people do? Something called a bonding? But as you follow Morgan's sure-footed path in the now dark forest, you suddenly hear a voice behind you. What are you doing? Turn to see Bastien, flanked by Callum and Jet. They look angry and somehow larger in the long shadows. Bastien. Celine's coming with me of her own free will, which is more than I can say for how you got her here. Step away from her. You have no right to be here. Hey, quit it. I make my own decisions. Morgan steps between you and Bastien, hand on the holster of her gun. Get behind me, Celine. But, as you hesitate, not sure how to defuse what has turned out so suddenly into a dangerous situation, Bastien lets out a sound that can only be described as a howl. Horrifyingly, his face seems to stretch and twist with the sound, arms lengthening, back hunching, nails sprouting into claws. Behind him, Jet and Callum twist and hunch as they undergo the same transformation. No, this isn't real. This can't be happening. Oh. Okay. She is mine. Okay, you do you, fam. Bastien just turned into a werewolf, and what does that mean for you if you're bonded to him? Oh, who knows? Find out next week, because, you know, it's kind of stupid that Pixelberry is going to release this after, what, a year? I mean, really, it's been a year, right? This book originally released December of last year, right? And didn't Pixelberry say that they were going to release VIP a few months after the fact? Okay, so this is, this is October, right? 2 months before it's officially a year. And this is Pixelberry's stance, right? You would think they would release all of this book. That way, and this is just kind of this idiotic thing I call thinking, is if people didn't want to pay for VIP, but they wanted to pay for keys, right? That basically, keys are significantly cheaper, right? I mean, 30 keys is $9.99, 5 keys is $1.99. You get the point. Or VIP, which then we wouldn't be having this discussion, but most people I have talked to do not want to pay for VIP. Okay? They pretty much are in agreement with me about VIP, because VIP just does not offer anything at the moment. It offers literally and figuratively nothing really. They're wanting Shipwrecked is literally just, I mean, it's just crap. It begins with an S and ends with mutt, but that's what I've been told by people who have actually paid for VIP to read it. And they're like, I regret spending $15 to read the garbage. So, I mean, again, there is only Shipwrecked right now, right? So, yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. But without further ado, thanks all for watching. You know what to do on the screen. I will catch you all later. Hopefully Pixelberry maybe listens to feedback and releases the entire book all at once, but I doubt it, because, you know, they think they'll get pennies at this point. Bye.